Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back here, and I got Jaden Drussell, right?
Yeah.
On the line again. Uh, and last episode we completed Studiopolis Zone. Now we're heading on to Flying Battery. There we go.
Studiopolis Zone. That's one of my favorite zones in this game. Actually, I just like it.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome zone. Hang on a sec here. Oh wait, wrong way. There we go. That should be louder. Of course, I lost that fire shield. So, what's your impression on like the visuals for Sonic Mania? Because I think they look downright gorgeous.
Since it's made to look like the classic Sonic, it is pretty good.
Yeah.
How they were able to do that.
Yeah, in fact, one of the design goals was to basically make it look better than the Genesis, but not quite to the level of the Sega Saturn, for example. And you can tell that they accomplished that. So we got a Blue Sphere stage here.
Yeah, on these stages, when I first played them, I didn't know that you can go backwards.
Like, basically, turn around and go back the way you came?
No, like, the first time I played one of these stages, I was just standing there and Sonic would just start going backwards.
Oh. Ouch, 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 ouch. Alright. I should have done that instead of trying to be ballsy. So what this, the electric shield does here, if I hadn't lost it, would basically, pull you to the ceiling like that, which is a cool idea. It kind of makes sense, since it's acting like a magnet and pulling those metal objects up to it. Makes sense it would pull lightning up, right?
Yeah.
One thing I've always loved about Sonic Mania, even before I got it, was this phenomenal soundtrack. It took a later zone, I'm not saying it yet because we haven't gotten there, but it took a later zone that came from a classic entry and actually made it way more enjoyable for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a zone from a classic game, and it was a track that the composition itself was fine. I liked it. But, the way it sounded just didn't sound right with the Genesis hardware.
So what was your first experience with a Sonic game like one of the classics?
Well, I actually had Sonic Classic Collection for the Nintendo DS. And it wasn't the most pure way to play the games, unfortunately. They zoomed in a little bit. So, like, in the opening cutscene for Sonic 3, where Knuckles would punch you and take all the Chaos Emeralds from you, it would show all 7 on the Genesis original, but they cropped it in on the DS so that it only shows, like, for example, 6. Nothing major, but it was... Once I learned that that's what was going on, it made it hard for me to keep going back to it. But it did have all the 2D Genesis platformers. Didn't have CD, but didn't expect them to have CD on there with the DS cartridge. But I'm not sure if I played that or Sonic Colors on DS first. To be honest with you. My memory's failing me on that.
But I know you are a fan of Sonic Colors.
Oh yeah, when I finally got the opportunity to get the Wii version, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going for that. It has been I knew the Wii version back in before I had even seen like footage of like the cutscenes. I had known that the game was supposedly had more humor, and I was curious to see what that humor was like. And there was actually some pretty funny lines.
And you said you really liked the soundtrack called Reach for the Stars.
Yeah, and as time went on, I ended up really, really loving the entire soundtrack. One of my favorites is actually Aquatic Park. I had to think of the name. And back when I had this app that would allow me to play the actual sound files from anything from NES, Master System, Genesis, even Super NES and stuff. And I had the DS soundtrack downloaded there as well. And I would have like the map for Aquatic Park playing, and it was just, and I would just relax with it. It was just so, it was a very soothing track. Oh, that's right. I have the drop dash there still. Oh, I was trying to get that ring box. Oh well. Sonic Mania may actually be the first Sonic game that I've actually ever 100%ed. Come close to 100%ing Sonic Colors on DS, but I've never even 100%ed Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I've beaten the game, but I've never completed it. Gotten all the Chaos and Super Emeralds.
Speaking of that,
Yeah?
you know what this zone really reminds me of?
What is that?
It reminds me of, I think it's called, well, it's from the first Sonic Adventure, it's called the Sky Deck. It kind of reminds me of those stages a lot.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it is a flying battleship that Eggman has, and,
I think it was like a stage that had to do with the egg carrier.
yeah, and, it could be a reference to it. It's probably a reference to both Flying Battery and, Wing Fortress from the first Sonic game, from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I mean. Huh. I got hit a couple of times. I still got some of that cool bonus.
So where do you stand on the downloadable content for the game?
Oh, like as to whether or not I'm gonna get it?
Yeah, what do you think about them adding a couple new characters and stuff?
Honestly, I think it was I mean, the original game had already been out for a couple months, and then I think they decided and it was only because fans wanted a physical retail release that they actually added the DLC just to. That way they could release the DLC for the same price that it would have been to cover making it on cartridge. So really, they were just making it accessible to everyone, and the idea of having actually one new act altogether in the encore mode, and oh crap, I'll try to grab that. And adding a couple new characters also helped keep Sonic Mania a little more relevant for a little while too. I mean, Super Mario Odyssey was really in the eyes of public for like a couple of months, and then it kind of people are still talking about it, but not to the degree that people were at first. But Sonic Mania, because of the added DLC that basically got more interest in it, kept it alive for and the animated shorts, the Sonic Mania Adventures, also kept it alive for a little while. Like a little longer. Ow. So that I think it was both a good idea to keep the game a little more relevant because it was still coming out, new stuff was still coming out, and they handled it really well, I think. Alright, let's see what's up this way. Alright.
Personally, I'm not that big of a fan of the Sonic games in this style. I'm more of a fan of the 3D Sonic games.
Yeah, and at least from what the sort of things people say, unless it's like some of the newer fans, it seems to be kind of a not quite unusual, but and not even unpopular, but a lot more people, probably because a lot of people, the Sonic fans, grew up with the classics, so they still have a big fondness for them, and some just have said that once Sonic went 3D, the series turned pretty bad, with the exception of a couple of games. And I don't know.
Because one of the Sonic 3D games or two of the Sonic 3D games I actually enjoyed were Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube.
Oh yeah, and those ones are, while they're still liked and people still think they're pretty good, they're still not, like, people have said that they've aged, and there are parts of them that have aged, and one of the main criticisms, at least for the first Sonic Adventure, was like Big the Cat's gameplay, and that was criticism that was kind of deserved. It was not really a Sonic type of gameplay, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I 100%ed the game, and I even unlocked like Super Sonic's like episode. Like it's like the last story segment.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've actually yet to beat either Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2.
Because I beat the main story in both Sonic Adventure games.
How long did that take you?
Well, for me to beat the first Sonic Adventure, it only took me about... You're probably going to want me to explain, but for the first Sonic Adventure, it took me about 5 minutes.
Oh, that's right. Didn't you say you had a friend who gave you like 100% file or something? Is that why?
Yeah, but on my own time, I did complete all the other stories. It's just that I wanted that 100% save file, so I could skip Big Story.
Yeah, no.
I had all the other stories beat. I just didn't want to do Big's because his gameplay was really bad.
Yeah, and I'm the type of guy who, I suppose even in Legend of Zelda, fishing is not exactly a necessary gameplay type, but it works in like Ocarina of Time because the controls are actually surprisingly solid. But in Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure 1, you can tell that, I think the developers didn't know how to properly make Big's gameplay work at all, really.
And besides his theme, I'm not sure if you heard his theme, but I found it really annoying.
Oh. I don't think Big the Cat is a bad character, but he is definitely the worst part. The funny thing is, he's
out there.
Yeah, and he's voiced by someone who is at least well-known 90s from a well-known 90s PC game. He's voiced by I don't know the actor's name, but he's voiced by the same actor who voices Duke Nukem. Which is so surreal. So anyways, this guy has been a little obnoxious. You have to basically bump this little bumper thing in to send him flying into the spikes. And if you time it wrong, like I just did there, you'll get landed to the spikes and you'll throw out these electrical sparks. But I struggled a little on my first time, but now it's not much of a problem. Yeah, I got hit a lot. So what are we at for length? Oh, 15 minutes. Why the hell not? I'll do press garden zone as well.
Because there is a couple more 3D Sonic games that I actually enjoy.
Oh yeah?
And that would be Sonic Unleashed.
Yeah, that one seems to be a pretty popular and loved one. At least.
And if I had to pick out of these two, it would have to be Sonic and the Secret Rings.
Yeah, and that one has gotten more lukewarm reception, but you can't say Sega wasn't trying anything new with it, with that entry, right?
Yeah, but I kind of like Sonic games that played like that for a time.
Yeah.
Which is why I also managed to pick up Sonic and the Black Knight as well.
Yeah, though, so a fact about the development for oh shit, yeah, I see that. For Secret Rings, half of the development team for Sonic for Sonic 06 or just Sonic 2000 or just Sonic the Hedgehog, half the development team left to work on Sonic and the Secret Rings, which was originally a port of Sonic 06 for the Wii. Including the lead developer on Sonic 06 went to work on Secret Rings, so that's kind of interesting how that ended up playing out.
So Sonic 06 was supposed to have a Wii port, and that's where they came up with Sonic and the Secret Rings?
Yeah, and half the development team for Sonic 06 ended up going to work on that, including the director of Sonic 06, which, yeah, I didn't think that was I think that ended up screwing them over in the long run. You know what I mean?
But if it's one thing I've always loved Sonic for, it's the soundtracks.
Oh yeah, and even Sonic, yeah, the only one I could not really remember, and it might just because I haven't heard it that much, is Shadow the Hedgehog. That one I don't really remember much, except a couple of tracks, and one of the tracks is All Hail Shadow, which actually ended up being used in as Shadow themes in Sonic 06. And I actually like that piece.
But if it's one theme I could choose from Shadow the Hedgehog, it would be the main theme.
What was it? I am, and in brackets, I am all of me, basically?
Yeah. But by Crush 40, oh my god, that's a really good song.
Yeah, it is actually pretty solid. In fact, if you you even remember this, I made an update the video, I think it was around the beginning of the year, explaining why I'd been out of the scene for a little while.
Yeah.
The background song used in that was actually Soliana's theme from the Soliana Castle Town theme from the first Hub-World in Sonic 06.
But why would you use a track from Sonic 06?
Well, I actually like the soundtrack, and I figured it kind of had that sort of sound that I was going for for an update video, you know?
So, well, what did you think of the soundtrack, the lyrical version of His World?
It's actually pretty damn solid. I really like it.
But you know what I find really disappointing? In the final boss fight of Sonic 06, like in the final story, when you fight the final boss, it doesn't even play the lyrical version, it only plays the instrumental theme.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
But then again, Sonic 06 is one of the worst Sonic game of all time.
Yeah, I'd even call it probably the worst because of the damage it did to the series. Because, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been no Sonic Adventure type of games since Sonic 06. You know, hub worlds, upgrades.
They should make a Sonic 06, not Sonic 06 game. They should make a Sonic Adventure game and put Shadow in it, like have his own separate story.
Yeah, basically make a better Sonic 06 in a way.
Yeah. But have no references to Sonic 06 whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, that game is kind of wiped from the canon unless you... Although since Silver is in the series still, then I think that means that either something happened, that his future is still bad, or it's now an alternate continuity. In fact, I think Sonic 06 might have been an alternate continuity, because I think it was supposed to be a reboot, actually, for the series.
Yeah, but that failed.
Yeah, and it failed hard.
The only thing I kind of liked about Sonic 06 was the fact that Shadow was in it. Plus, you could play as a lot of different characters.
Yeah, although, they were all kind of broken, unfortunately. Especially Knuckles and Rouge. I mean, you remember that? They were almost impossible to jump off the walls with. You remember that?
That I don't really remember, but...
Well, I've seen footage, and I remember even trying it, and it's really hard to get through. I gotta admit, Press Garden looks beautiful. That's one thing I think Sonic games tend to get right a lot, as well as the visuals. It's just usually the gameplay. Alright. I think this is what I was supposed to do anyway. Yeah, there we go. And checkpoint. Now this one's gonna be a long one. I'll just do that.
So if you had to pick your favorite Sonic game, whether it be 3D or classic, what would it be?
Ooh. Well, Sonic 3 and Knuckles was probably tied with Sonic DS, Sonic Colors DS, sorry. Though now Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic Colors DS are still tied, but I think Mania has now beat him out. mean, I just not had this much fun with a Sonic game. Yeah, I'm struggling to remember last time I had this much fun from beginning to end. And we are at... Oh, I forget this guy one's name.
And if I had to pick my favorite Sonic game, it would either have to be Sonic Adventure 2 Battle or Shadow the Hedgehog. I just had a lot of fun with them both.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, can you stop encasing me in a metal block, ice block, please? Guess not. Yeah, this boss has always been kind of annoying. Alright. But you gotta not die. But what you gotta do is knock him out of the air. Knock it out of the air. It's one of the hard-boiled heavies, as they're called. And while it's stunned, thank you, you can hit it a couple of times. And as you hit him more, I think it's a him. It could be a her. Because I think there was one of the hard-boiled heavies that's a female. Oh, come on. Go! Taze!
How many lives are you at?
9 still, but I'm trying to keep these lives because the boss for Stardust Speedway, even now, can still be a struggle. So I kind of want to hold on to them as best as I can. There we go, this is... Yes! Haha! Didn't even get hit that time. And there we go. So, yeah, that's going to conclude this video since we're already at the 30-minute mark. So, oh, speaking of Stardust Speedway, we'll tackle that in the next episode. But yeah, that'll be for next episode. I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.